What the hell is going on with Emu and the Gorosei, the highest authority in all of the world government? And these guys can definitely back it up, as these guys are considerably strong and are quite literally demons, as each of these guys appear to have their own individual transformations, most likely mythical zoans. There has been a long-running debate among the community whether these guys are strong, but after 1085 there is undeniable proof that these guys are quite powerful, as they tanked a Fire Fist attack from Sabo as well as Emu when he ate the flame. So these guys are considerably strong and in contention to be one of the final fights for the Straw Hat Pirates. But just how strong are these guys, and what does this mean for the Straw Hats on Egghead Island, as Saturn is currently heading over there right now? So we're going to discuss that, as well as what their possible mythical transformations are, unless this is truly their real forms. Now, the elders being powerful is of no surprise. They are the highest authority in the world government and appear to be the direct bodyguards of Emu-sama, as well as some of them having scars on their body, proving that they've gotten into battles in the past, as well as the bald-looking one having a sword and taking care of it, similar to that of Shiryu and Zoro, proving that he is a top-class swordsman, with many people speculating it is the Shodai Kitetsu, the first of the Kitetsu line, meaning it is the most powerful, as well as being a part of the 12 great supreme blades, with him most likely being the strongest of the 5 elders, as Zoro tends to fight the swordsman and the second strongest in an organization, and the Straw Hats will definitely fight against Emu and the Gorosei. The real question is, how did he even get the Shodai Kitetsu if that really is it? I wouldn't be surprised when they fought against the Great Kingdom and its allies. Maybe he killed the original user of the Shodai Kitetsu and took it for himself, or maybe, in fact, he actually originated from Wano and betrayed them. Although we do not know the details, the government were able to overthrow the Lunarians, so these guys, if they were there at the time, should be able to handle king level threats, which is pretty scary. But when confronted by the Fleet Admiral Kainu, who is one of the most powerful characters in the series, they were not afraid one bit, even claiming that the Marines are just a public face, hinting that the government have a lot more power backing them up, or that the Gorosei were a lot stronger than we're led to believe. But the big question is, what exactly were those transformations when fighting against Sabo? Personally, I think they all are mythical zoans, because I think it would be lame if the Gorosei just had normal regular zoan transformations. These guys are the highest authority among the world government, so they have to have something special. Unfortunately, they were all silhouetted, so it's kind of hard to decipher what exactly they were. Based on the shape, I think we can decipher what some of these are. Now, based on the position they were standing in, I think the one on the far left is the one that resembles that of a bull. Now, I did some research on what type of mythical bulls there are. The main one I can think of is the Minotaur. I think all of us know what that is. Human body, but with the head of a bull, very powerful, very well known throughout the world, and Oda could do quite a lot with this ability. There's also the Taurus, a constellation among the stars, and this would make a lot of sense, as the 5 elders quite literally mean 5 elder stars, and the whole theme of the Celestial Dragons is centered on space, as his name is quite literally J. Garcia Saturn. Now, at first I thought the giant creature in the back was Emu, as he appeared to go into a transformation of his own, eating the fire, but this could actually be the youngest Gorosei, as he was in between Saturn and the bald one. So maybe that giant creature could be him trying to protect Emu. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what this silhouette was. It just looks like a giant creature, maybe a lizard dragon thing. Honestly, I don't know. But the bald Gorosei does look very interesting, as he seems to have the smoke ribbon similar to that of Gear 4 and 5 and Lucci's Awakening. So maybe the Gandhi looking one does have an awakened Zoan, which isn't too surprising. But because of the bald one's design, I think his fruit might be Japanese god oriented, maybe like a Raijin, a Fujin, Izanagi, Amaterasu, Izanami. There's so many options for this guy at this point. Then there's the giant bird creature, which I'm assuming is the tall Gorosei. This could be a whole host of things, from a griffin to the mythical rock, the bird that Luffy's been naming some of his Gear 3rd names after. There's also the Thunderbird, a mythological creature that is able to conjure storms and lightning. And my personal favorite, the Garuda, the king of birds, and I think it'd be fitting to have one of the Gorosei to be in possession of the strongest bird devil fruit in existence. But whatever it is does look kinda goofy, so we'll just have to wait and see. And then finally, the one on the far right, who I think is the short Gorosei with the birthmarks on his head, definitely is a rhino. Now, it's very possible that these could actually be mythical gods within the One Piece universe, similar to sun god Nika. As you remember, back when Shandia in the flashback 400 years ago, they were praying to these deities, the god of the sun, the god of the rain, the god of the earth, and the god of the forest. So maybe one of the Gorosei, or some of them, represent these gods. But besides their appearance that appear to be that of zoans, they also, or at least one of them, maybe even Imu, possesses a unique ability to manipulate shadows and create an arrowhead out of it that was able to pierce and damage Sabo significantly. I'm unsure if this is an ability of Imu or one of the Goroseis, possibly one of them could actually just be a Logi. But what could this mean for the Straw Hats? Well, Jay Garcia Saturn is currently heading towards Egghead Island, which I 100% believe he will get into an altercation with Monkey D. Luffy, where we'll learn some more information on Sun God Nika. We know there's going to be an incident that's going to shock the world to its core the day after the Egghead incident, so I truly believe this incident could definitely be the kidnapping or defeat of one of the 5 elders. And at this point, the Gorosei could be a great challenge for the Straw Hat Pirates and Luffy, who many consider to be a little too overpowered at this point with Gear 5. But considering their status and the fact they're combatants, you can definitely make the claim that they're probably not as strong as a Yonko or maybe even an Admiral, but definitely could hold their own in a fight. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. One of the silhouettes that destroyed a camera in Egghead in chapter 1075 does resemble Jay Garcia Saturn. Now, it would be a little difficult for Jay Garcia to go from the ship to Egghead instantly, but maybe he could be using one of his abilities to manipulate the shadows that able to do so. I'm kind of scared for Robin at this point because the Gorosei have been hunting her down for years now, so this could be the best case opportunity where Saturn might try to kidnap her, as well as take control of the Pacifista and Seraphim. As we learn, the Gorosei are able to take command as they have the highest authority, but only able to do so if they're in person and can't do it over a Den Den Mushi, which is one of the reasons why I think they're heading to Egghead. The fact they were scared of 2 emperors meeting up or joining forces does kind of let me know that they might be weaker than the 4 emperors, but that does not mean that they can't pose a formidable threat. Regardless, these guys are definitely one of the strongest characters in the world, and we're in for a formidable fight against Saturn and Sun God Nika, and I cannot wait for the outcome. Let me know what you guys think down below of the Gorosei and just how strong you guys think they are. I hope you guys have a good day and a good night. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.